All right,
What is
what's up,
up,
everybody?
everybody?
Everybody's starting to funnel in here as we go live. Join us in on TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. And as always, replays are on Rumble and YouTube, so you guys can go back in and take a look at those. So, welcome into another segment of crypto news. I know we were late this morning, had a lot of work to do, had to go get another truck because one truck broke down. So, my moving company and had a new guy at the counter going through all the paperwork. So, it is what it is here. So, hopefully, we're back. We're going to be back at it. We got the Hex stream in an hour where you can have the Hexicans versus the Decenticans happening. Sounds.
Decenticans.
So, we'll have
Sounds
to
like
see.
Decepticons.
Yep. We'll have to see how that goes too. Hopefully we get enough people on both sides. If you are for or against it, just message me when you if you want to pop on in and join that stream and give your thoughts and opinions. I'll try to keep it as even as possible. So hope you guys are going to enjoy this one because it's really just a bunch of news that we're going over. Not a lot of craziness, although XRP has
Going
been
crazy.
rising up and going crazy. But before we get going, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support. If you guys could like, subscribe, and share the stream, we really appreciate it. I know there's always quite a few more people on TikTok because that's where we started first. So definitely help us get there. Help us get to 3,000 followers on TikTok. Help us get to 500 subscribers on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Links are in the description and links are in the bio if you're on TikTok. And do bear with us. Our moderators are still coming in on the TikTok side, so bear with us if you make a comment. I'll try to shout out everyone that as I can see them, but really appreciate everything that you guys are all your support and everything. So we're going to get started here. Just be patient with us if we miss your comment because we try to get to everybody. Sometimes it just gets muddled through here. There's just really just the two of us kind of doing this thing. So with that being said, XRP is on its way up again. Uh, we've had that. We've had quite a bit of rush last week, and then of course, natural sell off. Now it's starting to have another nice run up again lately. So we're up about almost 9% back in the 80 cent range. A little bit, right at 83. We have Bitcoin under 30,000. Seems to go back up, test that, and get
I'm excited
rejected.
for Ether to drop to 1,500. I want some cheap ETH.
Yep, I'm hoping that drops 1,500 or less too. But it looks like they're just kind of holding those levels. Got enough buy volume and support for that. But of course, we got Polkadot still holding strong, just
I
over
love that one.
$5. Chainlink still holding just shy of $7. We have Hedera all halfway up, almost up to 6 cents, and then we have Quant still holding $100. Still holding
I
$100.
love it. It's holding it. Balls of steel. $100. The
Yep.
market thinks Quant's worth $100.
Yep, it has not gone down. Shout out to user 4158. Hey, thanks for the support there. I'm glad to have you on the stream. What's your take on XLM?
I like it.
Well, it's definitely a good pick. I just don't have it in my portfolio.
I just
But
prefer
it,
XRP.
it is a definitely good hedge to XRP. They do the same thing as XRP. They just got a later start in on the game than XRP did. But however, since XRP has clarity, I think XLM should have the same clarity, being that it does the exact same thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if it hits the same percentage ratio as XRP does on growth, and it certainly did during the once the decision was made by Judge Torres on XRP, it rose by like 60% along with XRP. But it's
It's already
definitely a
up
good one to
80.
have in your bag. I'm sorry, go ahead, Cody. I don't know if
I
you
said
have
it.
some thoughts on there.
I said it's already like up 80% now, which is crazy because XRP was the first crypto I got into besides Bitcoin. X and Ethereum. XRP was really like one of the first ones. I remember I sold two pairs of expensive Jordans that were worth like $500. I made $1,000 selling some Jordans, and he paid me an XRP. True story. I sold the black and red toe Jordan ones and the black and blue Royal ones, and I sold those both for $1,000, and he paid me straight up in XRP.
Yep. As you can see here, I got the chart on XLM. As you can see here in the last 7 days, it almost doubled there. So we definitely had a good. You would definitely would have a good range, and I would still dollar cost average in along with XRP, ETH, and any other coins that you have that you are valuing. However, do be warned that we could see a nice little dip on it as well. But overall, it's a good coin to have in there, especially if you wanted to hedge your bets. Um, Shout out to Mark P. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Crypto Dream, one of our good moderators in here. Definitely, definitely glad to have you in here. Uh, let's see here, making sure I just don't miss any comments. Shout out to Joe Bree. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Uh, Shout out to user 4158 again. What about XDC? Just curious. So Cody, what are some of your thoughts on XDC?
I haven't done enough research on XDC to be honest with you, so I couldn't really say much.
Well, I guess I'm in the same boat. I haven't done much research on it, but it was one of the coins when I first got into years ago that I was really starting to look at here. And I do think that it could have a lot of potential with the next bull run, along just going up with it. But all that with the iOS 222 and
I
the central banking, central banking. I don't know what I said there. Central banking, the CBDC coins, and all that other stuff. It is definitely a good pick there to have. I mean, as far as growth potential, it's in that category where if you wanted to buy it and hold it just for the bull run, you could probably make the most off of this token. But granted, in the last 7 days, it didn't really have too big of a run up with the news, but the chart's about the same. So overall, I would say probably just good to have it as a side bet in your portfolio. I know. Shout out to Joel Bradshaw. Who are you? Well, I guess right. We didn't do our intros in here. My name is Sal. Own crypto. I own crypto investments. I do real estate. I also own property. I have rental properties as well as I own a moving company. I own now part of a construction company and part of a logistics company, as well as I like to invest in private equity things that I've been registered as an accredited investor, as well as doing other many things that I like to do. And I also like to just talk about finance and might as well put a camera in front of it. So I hope that answered that. And then Cody's the one that got me into crypto. So Cody's
I'm
the one.
20, I'm 22, almost 23 years old, and I worked for Sal at a moving company. And when I worked for him, we would go on these long truck rides to our client's house to our jobs, and we'd talk about crypto and we'd talk about stocks and stuff like that, and pretty much like where we see ourselves in 5 years with our, and we pretty much made like roadmaps technically for like our finances, like while we, especially on that big trip to Vegas, like we've came a long way in the past year and a half, and in another year and a half we're going to be totally
Mhm.
different people.
Exactly. And again, I could like we spent oh what was it? Trying to sorry, I do apologize, trying to make sure I catch up on people. But yeah, we spent at least like what it was like a week and a half just talking about crypto. So that's what got me into it. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Glad to have you in here. No problem. You guys can definitely come in and support. You know, likes and shares are free, so you know we definitely appreciate those supports as well. You don't have to come in here and drain a bag for us. We appreciate you guys. We hope you guys earn a bag. Shout out to Bad Bunny. Glad to have you in here. It looks like a pretty cool avatar or picture there. Couldn't really see, but what you think of quant? Well, I know Cody's done a lot of research on quant and has a lot of great things to say about
Oh,
it.
I have like 52 tokens of quant, man. I love quant.
But I have a lot of quant right now, and I definitely encourage everyone to get it while it's cheap at $100 because quant is only going to be on its way up, not on its way down. I mean, it will go down with our planned 25% market dip, but I do see that quant will be here for the long haul. It's got a lot of smart money into it. It's involved in the development of the CBDC token for the central bank of England. It's working with XRP on settlements with the international banking system. So it's definitely got a lot that it has to offer and a lot that it's going to bring to the table as as we grow. And my belief is that it's going to be the platinum of crypto. So like Bitcoin is crypto gold, ETH is crypto silver. So Quant is going to be crypto platinum. It also is helping to tokenize real world assets. The one the only thing I don't like is that they are working with CBDCs, which tokenizing real assets on a CBDC chain could be very detrimental to, of course, our freedom of choice, where we want to make sure that I don't like that where they can have complete control and lock you out of your assets, things like that. So that's one thing I don't like, but the money's moving that way. So we have to prepare. And my motto is wherever the big institutions are investing, like JP Morgan, BlackRock, try to have your money follow that way if at all possible. Shout out to user 4158. Really uh, appreciate the support. Shout out to H Bar. Um, shout out to 4158 again. Thoughts on H Bar? I'm guessing. I definitely think it's probably going to be my next token I add to my portfolio. I just like the growth potential where it hasn't done much action, and it is mainly to me is because it doesn't have a lot of volume activity. But Cody, do you have any thoughts on H bar on Hedera?
As far as pretty fast, and it's been around, but H4 did have a problem with its network. I think recently. Um, Hold on, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, H bar as well has the highest transactions per second. Sorry, I was listening to something in my headset as well. I had two things going on, but H bar
No.
is enterprise grade, just like Quant, just like XRP. It's pretty much for the big institutions. But my money's more into Quant and ETH because I see those two thriving. Polkadot as well, but yeah. What are your thoughts more on H bar?
I think it's also working with the International Settlements Bank. Its transaction speeds are just as fast as Quant is. Not quite as fast as XRP, but it's only like a few seconds behind. Um, they're doing the same thing. It's just always good to have other side bets in the same category that you're going with. So optimally, if they all do well, great. Or if one does bad, this one can cover for the percentage loss because it's just um it's just too crazy of a gap. Shout out to Manuel Pina. Thoughts on Caspa? Now, me personally, I've heard a lot of great things about it, but I actually haven't done any solid research on it. But everyone keeps telling me it's a great investment. It's a good thing to start getting into. Cody, do you have any thoughts on Caspa yourself?
I haven't done enough research on Caspa, but I actually brought it up a couple streams ago on the stream.
Okay.
Not that I knew anything about it, but I was all like, "Have you heard about Caspa?"
Let me see if I can bring. There we go, Cas. Okay. Because let me just pull it up here. I have it up here on our screen if you guys are watching on YouTube. Um, Let me just do a quick read on it here because I think it's working with. I think it's doing like kind of the same things as a lot of others are doing. I think it's involved with securing blockchains and doing all this other stuff. But from what I've been told, it's something that you should have in there, especially if you are in VeChain as well. I was told, like, a lot of people I talk to, even in my own investment network with other business owners that are investing, that are successful investing in crypto and things like that, they are saying the same thing. But if we're looking at it, same thing. It has the most amount of growth, but I'm gonna have to really take a look at it and really read everything to tell you, is it something that's gonna is this something that's gonna help in the long term, or it's going to be in the long term there, where so, but other than that, I think it's just a good side bet. A lot of things are definitely good. Uh,
What do you think about B Chain, so?
VeChain,
Yes.
I do like it. I just never got around to getting in there. I wanted to get my blue chips up first before I started getting into the other ones risky like Casper, VeChain, and everything else. But it's the same thing. VeChain was one of the first ones I looked into when I first got into crypto. I like it a lot. I like everything about it, what they're doing. But at the same time, like, I only have so much capital to dispense. So it was just
Yeah.
one of those ones that it just got left behind. Granted, it has a huge potential to go up. Shout out to Knowledge. Glad to have you in here. Really appreciate the support there. How do you last bull run? I'm guessing, how did I do last bull run? Well, I didn't. I You're gonna have to talk to Cody on that one because he was really in there in that one. I got in at the end of that bull run, so I've really just been taking a steady loss till 2022, and I just been stacking in there because I didn't really get in until December of 2021. So now that I've been like a year and a half in a bear market, all I could say is, like, I'm accumulating, and once I hit my price targets, I'm going to exit out and just wait for the drop again and to reinvest.
That's the
Shout out
same.
Break A214. Uh, Hope your day is going well too. My day is going great, although a little quite busy, but overall great. Uh, Shout out to Caddy, one of our great longtime followers. Glad to have you back in here. Really appreciate your your great abilities at being a great moderator in there. Um, Shout out to Eric Jordan. I guess H bar X is that the symbol? I think the H bar is just H bar. I don't think it has an X in there. So yeah, shout out to Crypto Mike. Caspa is great, but no volume. Yeah, it's just it has no volume compared to where it I think it should be. But you never know when investment sentiment will kind of gravitate towards it and start building it up. Shout out to user 4158. They're talking about placing a chip in your hand to get access to CBDCs. Any thoughts? Well, as futuristic as it sounds, like, yeah, I've heard about that too. I'm not for putting that in there, but there's been talks about this like 20 years ago. I remember when I first got a job in banking, and it was all the rave in retail, especially like grocery stores and convenience stores, where people could get their groceries, put it in a cart, and just walk out, and everything gets charged to your account. I mean, that would stop theft because you could not steal anything, because as soon as you picked up, you walked out of the store with it, it would automatically charge it right out of your account. However, if someone puts a chip in your hand for a wallet, I have to wonder if they're also tracking me too. So that's just my thoughts. I won't sign up for it. That's maybe it's because I'm old school, but I won't sign up for it.
No, I'm not either.
Shout out to Cali X2. Glad to have you in here. Another one of our great supporters and moderators there. Shout out to Knowledge again. Thoughts on Canberra, please? Please. Now that one I haven't heard of. I'll have to pull that one up there. Bria. Bria. Oh, that's a pretty interesting symbol. Cat. Okay, so when did this one launch? Here, 2019. It's kind of actually it hasn't really changed in the Yeah, it hasn't really changed that much. Well, okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading that wrong. We went from 2 cents to now 0.002 cents. Okay, so we did drop, but what? Let's see what these guys are all about here. Do they have an about? No, they don't even have an about there. Just saying it's necessary for its ecosystem. Maybe I can find it on its website. Let's see here. Ah, here we go. About. Or we can hit the white paper. I just need a quick synopsis of what it's about. Don't really care about the roadmap. I guess another one about this is another token and technology about smart contracts and everything, but it doesn't seem to go past much there. Just got a interesting roadmap. So I wonder if they have actually hit all these targets. I don't know. I have to look into it, but I can say this is that it's something to look into. But I'll say this: their knowledge that the chart does not give me any hope other than it's just been going on a downward trajectory. But it's hard to say given just this as the information. So,
So, do you think that ETH will flip Bitcoin eventually?
um, I mean, one, anything's really possible. There's nothing is impossible, but I think Bitcoin has more value than ETH in the long term, just because people are using it as a store of value. Where people are going to start using, if ETH functions the way they want to, people are going to start using it for projects and transactions on there.
I hope that's the thing about Ethereum. Like, the only risk that Ethereum has is itself. Like, if it's not, but it has done well in the long term, but it needs to do better on updating people and actually fulfilling. Everybody could work on fulfilling promises, but I think that's where ETH needs to come out.
Yeah. However, I think because Bitcoin is just too well known by many people, Bitcoin's going to always be the dominant one. So even
Yeah.
if its dominant slips down to like 40 to 30%, it's always going to be the biggest one because that's the one that's kind of stuck in people's minds when you talk to the public in large. But we'll know
Exactly.
ETH will go somewhere when you start having like your everyday housewife just kind of has a wallet for ETH, has a wallet for Bitcoin. That's when we'll know that we're going in the right direction.
ETH has, I see ETH hitting $10,000 for sure, and I know that's a classic talking point, and I know most people say that, but I definitely do see it hitting 10,000. And once it hits in that $1 trillion market cap range, it's over.
Yeah. And I like Powell said from the Federal Reserve, crypto has overall staying power. So everything's going to stay around. I don't think personally ETH is going to flip Bitcoin anytime soon. I think Bitcoin's just too dominant and too out there as just too much in people's minds as what when people think of crypto, they immediately think of the Bitcoin symbol.
Yep.
Uh, Shout out to Seek55. Thoughts on uh, Fox Fox IO? Haven't heard of them. What are they? I see here. Are we talking about Seek? Are we talking about INC or WPLS? Let me know which one I am looking at there. Shout out to TikTok Addict. Uh, Thoughts on XRP price for the year? Uh, I think Cody and I have more conservative thoughts. I know there's a lot of people giving
End of
degenerate
this year.
trade prices. Yeah, I know
So
there's a lot of
for
people.
the end of this year, I say $1.50.
I would still say I mean, that's possible, but I still say it's a little high. I'm thinking like just over a dollar, like a dollar five, maybe a dollar 10. Um, I think all of it's really just going to be hype, unless if something big happens with international banking and settlements and things like that. Like we'll know XRP is going to start rocketing when we start seeing Hispanic immigrants starting to send money back through XRP. So like I there's a ton of usage for XRP, and it really should be over $5 if the SEC didn't get involved. But at the same time, I just how do I put it? I just don't. It could be a buck 50, but I don't see like $10 at the end of the year. Like I've been seeing all over YouTube, $10, $8 to $12, $50 XRP. I don't see that
Do
today.
you
I
think do you think that XRP should be just in your opinion worth more in terms of market cap over ETH? Do you think it should be worth more in market cap wise?
For the value that it's bringing, it
Yeah.
should because it costs less. It costs way less. It's fast. It doesn't have the same problems as Ethereum. It's more decentralized than Ethereum. I don't I it should be worth more, but that's just because I think because it was such a good technology that it was repressed for people with a lot of money to get in.
Okay. What do you think ROI wise, like Ethereum or XRP, for next bull run?
For next bull run, Ethereum. I still
Okay.
think Ethereum for this bull run has more ROI return, but if you're talking the next 10 years, you're probably going to have a better bet with XRP. Just because I don't think XRP is going to take off. And when it does in the bull run, it's going to be like with Quant, the last to move. But we'll have to see because it's been moving in adversely from the market. So it hasn't been really going with it. You know what I'm saying?
When we see Ethereum move next bull run, that's when we're going to see all them alts move.
Yes.
That's when we're going to see all the alts move. When ETH goes to like 5, we're going to see. I guarantee you, about February of 25, we're going to be at about $4,500 ETH. We're going to be back at all time high again for ETH, pretty much by February of 2025. And then I think what's going to happen is around March and April, Ethereum is going to dip down to like 2,000 or 2,000 at the lowest. And then by July, it's going to go to like 8,000. And then it's going to end off of the year in the 12, 13,000 range, in my opinion, for ETH. We'll just have to see, but that's my bet. 13,000.
Yeah. Let me see here. I do apologize, folks. You guys are just commenting in here like crazy. I'm just trying to catch up on everything. But shout out to Big Dog Crypto. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. Um, Shout out to Seek55. I disagree with hosts. ETH will flip it. Hex will flip both. But like I said, anything's possible. My thing is that when I talk to the average person about crypto and they're talking
Okay,
about it,
Bitcoin.
they're not mentioning Hex, they're not mentioning ETH, they're not mentioning XRP, they're not mentioning ADA, DOT, anything. They are just talking about Bitcoin and some of them occasionally Ethereum. But number one, Bitcoin. Actually, number two is Dogecoin. Like if you talk to anyone who has no knowledge of crypto other than just what they heard in snippets of the news, it's always Bitcoin and then followed by Dogecoin, maybe some know Shiba, and a few of them do know Ethereum, but they don't know anything else. Like you can ask them anything. You can ask them something about Chainlink, and they don't know. Like what's that? They like I don't know about that. I just know about Bitcoin. I thought Bitcoin was the whole crypto. Like I was talking to a guy, he he owns a bunch of real estate in here. He's only like 9 years older than me, and all he knows, he thought Bitcoin and Ethereum were the only tokens. Like that was it. He he thought all of it was just like trading platforms. He was conflating and mixing a lot of things into Bitcoin. So it's like, no, that's not what it does. Or no, that's something else. That's different. And so that's where I got to think like, believe it or not, I know you guys. I know a lot of people are big on the projects they like, but you guys gotta understand if you go out there and you start talking to people who have no idea about crypto, you will find out all they know is Bitcoin and what they see off of movies, documentaries, and the news. That's it. And
Yep.
it's just crazy because once they start to know, that's why I said like on the last stream we had, I know we were talking about hex and pulse chain and those type of things. Those two, it's like when I say like anything that happens this bull run is going to wildly outperform what it did last year because we're going to see probably 4 or 5 or maybe even 10 times the amount of people getting into crypto. There's just no way anything could not be a good bet. It's kind of like just take a shotgun blast, shoot it at the chart at the exchange, and whatever you get most likely will go up because we will have euphoria, people who don't know anything going into crypto, and then on top of that, we have the sudden wealth syndrome where people are trying to pick something that is going to give them like multi-millionaire status in like a month, 2 weeks, or whatever their time frame is. So that's where I say like it's going to affect everything going in. So, but as far as what you were saying there, Seek 55, I'm gonna have to look into that one because I have no idea. Every time I turn around, there are a lot of a new ones. But let me catch up on some comments here. Shout out Calixtu. It has a small market cap with the possibility to grow. Shout out to Big Dog. Kada is a threat to ETH. Um, is that Ada or is that a new one, Kada? I'm just gonna have to figure out. Um, let's see here. Just got some guys coming in. Let me just move over past here. Shout out to Stop Loss 100%. Thank you for understanding. I just had to calm my friend down about it. I guess you guys are talking in there in the chat. So I really appreciate that activity. Shout out to Sam. When should it be the opposite? Gonna have to elaborate that for us unless you're talking to someone else. Um, Also, shout out to Sam, but glad to have you in here. Glad to have your support. Most people want to be entertained instead of educated. Well, that's true because there's a lot of finance channels. It's just pure entertainment, and people like to see it. But it is what it is. Shout out to Paul. Glad to have you here. Thanks for the comment. When do you think the next bull run will start? Late next 2024. I think the bull run will start in 2025. I don't think it's going to be late next year. I think it's going to be end of like the spring or start of summer of 2025. Cody, what are some of your thoughts on the next bull run there?
I agree. I've been saying late 2025 for the longest. It's going to be 2025 will be like 2021.
Yeah, it's I just don't see it in there, especially with the SEC kind of casting some Hail Marys in there. I think it's going to slow down the growth of the bull market. But that's just my opinion. You never know. We could wake up and it could be the end of this year that all of a sudden just kicks off. So who knows? But beginning of 2025 is my estimate. Probably really like the spring to the summer. But there's a lot of things that could affect that. Either make it earlier. Shoot, right after the Bitcoin halving, it could just skyrocket. So it's like this is one of those things. Shout out to Big Dog, Kadena. Well, let's take a quick look at that one.
Cadena?
Cadena, bad with names. Okay, so this one's been around. I guess it got popularity. I don't know. It hasn't fallen below its initial coin offering, but this chart doesn't really give me any hope. Kind of like looks like it got pumped up and then people cashed out. Um, we're gonna have to take a look to see this what this is doing here. Give me a second here. Okay, I see what we're here. Oh, I did not know that. Founded by Stuart Popejoy, led JP Morgan emerging blockchain. Okay, okay. So there's quite a bit of experience behind it. Just not sure exactly what they do other than proof of work, staking, and just trying to adapt and change blockchain technology. Shout out to yeah, we got to do a deep dive on it and really get you guys on here. Shout out to Seek55. You guys, this is pure speculation and education. Yeah, that's pretty much all we're doing. You know, it's like I mean, anything is. I don't like I said, like I said, I'm new to crypto, so it's been a year and a half. A lot of things I have to learn and do a deep dive on, and really get time to look at it. But like I said, what I look at is really I'm looking at it from a trader standpoint. As long as it meets like some core metrics of what I'm looking for as far as a safe enough investment to get safe enough investment to to kind of like grow my portfolio. That's what I look at. But I look at it as in terms of a banker. If I see that other bankers are going into this, then I already know, okay, there's a good chance that this is probably going to make some money. Because if I see big money going into it, that's when I move into it. There's shout out to Sam. Thanks for the ask. What about Chainlink? I know Cody, you were the first one that brought me on to Chainlink yourself.
Chainlink is a big Oracle platform, and it's for smart contracts. It's pretty much needed within the crypto industry. It's an Oracle. If you don't know what an Oracle is, I would do more research on it. But we need Chainlink.
Yes, from what I understand, from what I read, and I read Chainlink a while ago, so bear with me here. That Chainlink is designed for interoperability, so just trying to bridge everything together because everybody's kind of like doing their own thing, which kind of like how the computer space was back in the 80s. Like everyone was kind of doing their own thing until someone made something that could work on all hardware that could merge all software. So that's kind of what I get Chainlink as when we are looking at it.
I honestly see, in my eyes, Polkadot is doing a better job at that, or at least has a better approach to it.
Hmm.
But Chainlink, in terms of its technology and smart contracts, that's what it has over Polkadot.
Yeah, and that's what I that's one of the reasons why I got Chainlink along with Polkadot is just hedging the bets, putting money into different assets. Shout out to Riot Shield God. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate
Right,
it.
chill, God.
That's definitely a good name there.
I'm
All
playing
right.
Call of Duty right now.
um. Well, shout out to our moderators. I guess you guys the Hexicans have pissed off the moderator. So
Had they pissed off the moderator?
yeah. So I was
I,
wondering
I
why I
don't blame
couldn't
the
keep up with
moderator.
their
I feel you,
couldn't
moderator. I
keep up
feel
with
you. They
their.
pissed me off too.
So yeah, it does not bode well for me on this stream with Hexicans because I'm sure it's going to be crazy. But everyone's on. Everybody's got their own. Everyone's got their own
Texans is
opinion
scam,
and
in my
everything.
opinion.
My only thing about Hex is that you can't guarantee returns. Like that was the number one thing. If I remember anything from working at Bank of America on the private banking side as a trader, they would sit you down and they would tell you for like hours, you cannot guarantee price, uh, portfolio performance at all. And to say that you're going to guarantee an increase, it's like you can't guarantee that because it's all based off of market emotion and millions of people's decisions. Like we can't accurately predict that. All we can go off is his past performance. But shout out to Knowledge. What's your thoughts on Ocean? Um, to be honest with you, I haven't heard it. But are you referring to Open Ocean or Ocean Protocol? Well,
Probably Ocean Protocol.
yeah, because and keep in mind, guys, like a lot of this, when you bring up a new one, I gotta take a look at it, read it, and then tell you, hey, I gotta do a deep dive on it. Which you guys definitely give me a lot of topics to talk about. So I'm gonna have crypto picks for probably weeks, if not years, off of every single one that you keep picking for me. Um, but as far as I can read here, Ocean calls a blockchain based ecosystem off of the ERC token, one of the ERC tokens. Publishers can monetize their data while preserving privacy and control. Okay, I guess I guess this came out right around that big time about Web3 and monetizing your own personal data, along with because like all your search results, all that stuff. That's a lot of valuable information, and fair enough. You should be entitled to earning off of your own actions. So we'll have to see. Uh, Shout out to Big Dog. I think you're referring to the last one. He created J.P. Morgan's first blockchain. Yes, I just read that on that other crypto there. Shout out to well, Snowflakes will cry. That's a good one. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys for the support. Really appreciate you being in here. Uh, Shout out to Cali X2. I want the bull run to get started, or at least give us something. I hear that it's just that impatience kind of building. You're just waiting for it to happen. Shout out to TikTok. What are your thoughts on Dogecoin? Um, I don't. I don't think.
Dogecoin.
I don't think it's going to disappear. I did hear that the original founders of Dogecoin saw how popular it was. It started trying to add features to it, like staking, other like NFTs, things like that. The only thing I can see is that it's going to go up with the bull run, just because.
Dogecoin is here to stay just because it's that popular certified meme token. Dogecoin is the Bitcoin of meme coins, and Shiba's the Ethereum of meme coins. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know if it's going to get to that where it was that high in the last bull run, but I can't tell you how many people said that they put like 3,500 into Dogecoin last bull run. So I think they're all waiting for it to rise again.
Yep.
Um, Shout out to Reese Gunkel. Glad to have you in here. What's going on with XLM today? I took profits when it hit 17 cents today. I think it's going up with XRP. It seems to be has the same flow pattern as XRP through it. So and it does since it does virtually the same as XRP and Ripple. It's no surprise that it has the same performance, if that makes sense. But definitely, if you took profits and were able to get some quick cash off it, I definitely you gotta. I always recommend taking profits when you feel comfortable. Shout out to um, shout out to Eat. Glad to have you in here. We bull with you, brother. Hey, glad to have you in here. And shout out to oh my goodness, you guys got a lot of comments in here, so do apologize. Shout out to Eat again. Hexicans all busted. And shout out to Caddy. Sorry it got ugly and I had to mute. No worries. No worries. Hey, that's what we got the moderation.
Mexicans can get angry because they're teenagers with hormones.
I mean, there are some people that made quite a bit of money. And it's like I said, you made money, great. I don't I don't say don't make money off of certain off of things if you can, even if you can. I just say make money where you understand it. That way, you understand the risk involved and the losses that could happen. That's
There's
all.
a guy who paid for his house with $250,000 worth of hex, and then he's down on that fucking house. It's crazy. That's is embarrassing.
Yeah, that can happen too. Shout out to Sam. I look at the long term more than the short term. Yeah, and that's what you should do with every investment. Really take a look at long term where it's going, but definitely reevaluate your portfolio every couple months or so, because sometimes things change, businesses go bust, or management changes. So you just want to make sure that you're adjusting accordingly. Shout out to TikTok Addict. Thanks for the follow. Really glad to have you in here. Shout out to Knowledge, Protocol, and Caddy says Ocean is an AI token, and she has a bag in it. So there we go. Well, Lex Diamond, I know you asked Caddy how much is considered a bag. I would say at least for me, everyone's different, but for me, it's just a large percentage of your portfolio. For me, it would be about 50,000 in my crypto portfolio for me to consider it like a bag investment for me. Other than that, it's like a side bet for me. Sam, what I care about is if the cryptocurrency itself is offering a solution in a real company. That is true. I think you'll like Stacks because Stacks is a payment system crypto, which is based off of using the blockchain technology to have irreversible trades, not trades, irreversible transactions. So for businesses, you get a lot less of those fraudulent, what you call it, like
Don't you
people.
use stacks in your business, though?
Yes, I use for my moving company. I use Stacks as a payment system, so I convert it on the blockchain and then cash it out right right away. So that way, when I get something like when someone says wants to take money back on a credit card, it's very hard because then they have to reverse the whole blockchain, and that's not going to happen. So there are definitely quite a few companies offering solutions out there. Uh, let's see here. Ooh, guys are definitely. Um, let's see here. Trying to catch up to you guys here. Shout out to Freedom Fighter. They gave that dude 500 hex because he is down 98%. Uh, Shout out to Seek Capital Now. I guess this is referring
All
to
the
your
hex
house
coins.
comment, Cody, about he's up on his investment. Who, who invested in his house? I don't know. It's like a lot of stuff. We really have to, a lot of news we have to take as a grain of salt sometimes because it's hard to say what is and what isn't. The Swab Shout out to Sam. The Swab ETFs have been really decent and consistent. Yeah, well, yeah, they certainly have. Most of the ETFs have been really good overall, but I don't really pay attention to them as individual on a regular basis because I generally do my own picks, and then I use Betterment and Wealthfront, which has a bot that kind of manages the trading for you. So, that's what that's what I'm just trying to sort through, make sure I don't miss anyone. Shout out to if it happens automatically. Damn son, big numbers. Uh, Shout out to Red. Did Congress pass any crypto bills today? Not yet. Not that I know of. I don't think we're going to be here. We're going to be a while on the regulation for crypto in the crypto space, especially with Congress, because you do have a few people who know what they're talking about in Congress and who used to be in bankers and stuff like that. So We'll have to see. I do know that the Fed Now token is launching, so be ready for that. I think it launches tomorrow, so we're gonna have to see how that affects the market. Shout out to It Happens Automatically, XRP, ETH, or Bitcoin. If you had to pick one, oh man. Well, long term wise, XRP is really going to be the currency. Still say Bitcoin long term because it's probably going to go up, not down.
I would say Ethereum if I was you, but I would also throw in something risky because I wouldn't just go all. I would really have to, but I would do some quant and some Ethereum, or some Ethereum and some XRP, just a little bit. But if I was to predominantly go into one XRP over ETH, I'd say ETH, just because ETH could get hit those numbers of like 8 to 10,000. It could go back to all time high at the beginning of the bull run, and you're sitting there, missing out on those gains because ETH usually moves first.
Yeah, that's true too. ETH has better growth potential, but it could still. My thing is, it still can be killed off in
It
10 years.
can.
So like Bitcoin, I just don't think Bitcoin's going to disappear. No matter how hard someone wants it to disappear, it's not.
Nope.
Shout out to Figa 2023. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. Shout out to Red. What coin will Fed now use in your opinion? Um, like that's a tough one because I have a funny feeling. Like my gut says XRP is going to be the base for all those CBDC tokens and everything. But I don't know. It's going to be either ETH. I'm not sorry, ETH. XRP, XLM, Hedera, or it's going to be Quant that they're going to use. Especially since part of Fed now is getting everything onto a blockchain, including all your real world assets. Um, I don't like the Fed now because I think it's the next step to taking control of people's wallets. So, but it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to stop it. Shout out to Sam. It'd be better to get central bank digital currency banned statewide. It is banned in my state, and that's true because like a CBDC token can violate the like your First Amendment rights in the U.S. Now, not a lot of people know, especially if you live in the U.S. Most of the world is not privy to a lot of our freedoms, and the freedom to do transactions privately is going to be a big one. And that's why I think if it comes out, God help whichever party's in power. I think it's going to be the Democrats that it's going to come out under, and that's
Yep.
just going to ruin
Democrats.
them. It's going to ruin their chances of being around for a long time.
Sounds like a very liberal type of thing to, I don't know, want people's transactions to be public, in my opinion.
Shout out to C Crypto Now. I guess they're having a conversation with some people still talking about Hex. Um, Hex failed the Howey test, so it's not a security or
Hex definitely would be a
Hex
security.
passed the Howey test, so it's not a security. I'm sorry. Okay, I see you corrected there. Um,
I don't even know why we still talk about Hex.
okay, shout out to Crypto Mike. Cypherferium is going to be used by the Fed It Now token. He believes so. Like I said, I just don't like the fact that they're going to have a lot of control over us.
Yep, exactly. I don't like control. I don't like the fact that they'll be able to see whatever we buy, or if they don't like something that we buy that's tied to an agenda that they don't like, they can just pause our whole account. They could Kanye West our account.
Yeah,
Pretty much what happened to Kanye West. His bank shut down his Apple Pay and everything.
yeah,
He
shut
couldn't
it
spend his
down.
money or anything.
Yep, and that's crazy how that could happen. And that's why I said like we have like that's a complete breaking of your First Amendment rights. Because before, like 20 years ago, you could opt out of credit cards and digital banking. You could still do things the traditional way with cash and checks. Now there's less and less cash and more everything's going digital. So this is kind of like the next step, but it also it hurts everybody in the long run because now someone like one person sitting at a desk can say, I don't like what they said. Click, and you're completely shut off for 24 hours. Um,
It's crazy.
Shout out to Lana Canoe. I heard other investors suggest XRP will ultimately flip ETH. Thoughts? And shout out to C Crypto. Appreciate the follow. Cody, I know we were just talking about this earlier and earlier in the day too. XRP could probably flip ETH in my opinion, just not this bull run. And in the next 3 years, probably in the next 10 years, it will flip Ethereum. That's just my personal opinion. That's when I think it will flip.
Yeah, I
However,
don't
it
think
has
next
more.
bull run.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cody.
In the bull run, I think when you're seeing ETH go to 7 to 10,000, you're going to see a lot of people FOMO. I mean, a lot of people FOMO when you start seeing ETH hit those big numbers like 7 to 10,000, especially with quant. You're going to see quant hit the 1K range, and you're going to see people FOMOing like crazy. And I think people underestimate the power of FOMO and emotions, especially with ETH. You know, I remember the FOMO I had when I saw it reach $1,000,
Hmm.
1,100. You know,
Yeah, when it hit those lows last year, people were just jumping in. Uh, but
diving in.
But I do see that I think once XRP gets a little bit more back into mainstream with the everyday retail investor, I have a feeling you're going to start to see positive movement on it, which in the next 5 to 6, maybe 7 years, it could start to flip Ethereum. But in my opinion, XRP has a better use case than Ethereum does. Um, Sam, shout out to Sam. We must stand together to get the central bank digital currency banned nationwide. Absolutely. Just get your voice out there and vote the people in that are in favor of what you're doing. Shout out to Des Finance. That's funny name, a funny good one there. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Uh, Shout out to See Crypto Now. Cody, relax, bud. Stay strong and keep fighting the good fight, including vaping. Exactly. You know, you want to make sure that you he keeps up that staying off of the nicotine there. Shout out to Sam. We have to talk to our state representative to get central bank digital currency. I'm guessing to get it banned. You could talk to them, but it's also about getting enough people to vote in enough and not enough get enough people in Congress against it. Shout to Red, they can already do that through just like yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Crypto Mike. Fed now is just a payment rail, not a CBDC, right? Yes, it is a pay fast payment system, but it's kind of like that back door to CBDCs. It's like CBDCs like waiting behind a tree, like gonna get this. So it's like they're trying to push one step closer towards where we got to be. Thank you. Oh, there. You go. Thank you, Pastor Jesse. Glad to have you in here, and thanks for the follow. Seek
Sorry
now,
about that. My phone died.
no worries. Uh, Shout out to Seek now. I'm 10 years older than you, well, homie. Just trying to help. That's to Cody. No hormones, just knowledge. G. Exactly. Sam, I would create your own bartering system locally in your community if it does go cashless. That could very well happen. Hey, out here in the South, they already want to try to negotiate and barter tractors for stuff they want. So
If
Um,
anything, I think they would make Pepe the currency of the nation. I think no, I'm fine.
exactly. Shout out to Freedom Fighter. Thoughts on Pepe token? Do you think it will
I
be one of
just
the
said
top
something like
memes?
that. That's crazy. I was just talking about Pepe as a joke, and then he just said something about Pepe.
I think Pepe is going to be big this bull run, just because it's Pepe.
You gotta
I
have
see
some
a
ETH.
lot of degeneration about it, degenerate moves around it, but it will spike up ETH because, and it's going to clog up the system too, with everybody just getting involved in it. But it's probably going to be the best performer of this bull run, and then it's probably going to fade out of existence. I don't think it has a staying power like the Doge meme coins, but once again, you never know. But I do think it's going to be the top performer of the meme coins. Shout out to Reese Uncle. Difference between BTC Cash and BTC, worth investing in BTC Cash.
So
No,
Bitcoin Cash is a fork of Bitcoin, and pretty
yeah.
much it was where a community. It was just like ETH, Ethereum Classic, and ETH. Ethereum Classic is a fork of ETH. It was a fork because there was a disagreement within the community, so they went separate ways. Bitcoin Cash is pretty much it's a fork. That's what it is. It's a
Hmm.
hard fork.
Oh, yeah. I would just say just get Bitcoin. Don't even bother with
Yeah.
all the other ones. Just get Bitcoin there, buddy.
Yep. I mean, Bitcoin Cash has been going stupid crazy in returns. Like it's even done better than XRP. But if you're talking like long term sustainability, like Bitcoin is going to be something you're going to be able to pass down to like your kids like one day. So I'd rather have Bitcoin over Bitcoin Cash.
Exactly. And shout out to Sam. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. Shout
Like
out to Angelino too. When Fed now coming? Go ahead, Cody. I'm sorry.
I was so like eventually you're going to be seeing people like when their kids start hitting like 15 to 18 years old, you're going to be seeing if Bitcoin hits those high numbers one day and it's still around and it's still successful, don't be surprised when you start seeing, people handing down their Bitcoin to their kids or like,
Hmm.
saying, oh, I inherited some Bitcoin. I see that one day in the future.
Yeah, and especially since it's just a nice store of value. I believe, and shout out to Angelino. When Fed now coming? I think it's supposed to launch tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure XRP is involved in it. Let's see here. Just making sure.
Quant would have some involvement, you would think, right? Since it's so big into CBDC.
It could as well. It could well, but I don't remember hearing anything about it though. But it could. Shout out to Angelino. Bitcoin costs 30K. Well, any price that Bitcoin is right now, it can it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better right now. Shout out to C Crypto now. Bitcoin is not safe, not secure. Bitcoin is old tech. It is old tech, and the problem with it is that, well, the good thing about it is that no one can sue Bitcoin because nobody knows who's in charge of it. Really, we know who's in charge of it, but they're not there or active or anything. So we can't. So they can't do anything about it, which is why Bitcoin is a. But however, is Bitcoin hackable? Yes, it's just as easily traceable. But something new and better can always come along and take it out. That's absolutely a truth with any investment. However, so far Bitcoin seems to be the like over a 10-year period, it's just been the best performer. Uh Shout out to Angelino. Can it pump XRP? I think XRP is starting to move away from the market and get into a place where it's acting on its own investor sentiment and progression. Like it seems to be breaking away because when most of the market's down, it tends to be up. And then when the market's going up, it tends to either be flat or going up on its own. So it's hard to say if it will pump with it, but overall, if you're getting a lot of just buys, like once we get into bull run and the euphoria.
XLM just went down 5%.
Oh, did it?
Yes, just now 5% went
That's
down.
interesting. I can't remember what level token that is. Oh man, maybe I keep passing it. But let's see here. Did because if that's the case, we should see. Nope, still going up. Oh, there it is. Well, yeah, it's just starting to drop. People are just taking profits. That's all it is. But I believe Bitcoin will pump with the bull run on its own, with the amount of market sentiment that's going to be involved.
Yeah, and same thing with XRP. It's like you'll see XRP do well next bull run. I think XLM and XRP is like the Bitcoin and ETH situation. XRP is like Bitcoin, XLM is like ETH in this situation. You want to have both. But for me, it's like Polkadot, Quant, and Ethereum are my three bags. I don't have any Bitcoin, even though do I hate Bitcoin? No. But do I have any? No. At least until next bear market. Next bear market, when I have so much crypto profits from the bull market, it's like I'll be able to buy a crap ton of Bitcoin because I'll have a lot of money. Eventually, I'll be all in on Bitcoin when it comes to crypto. Like, trust me, after next bull market and when we get into the next bear market, I'm gonna be a Bitcoin maxi just because of how much money I have. The only reason why I'm not all in on Bitcoin right now is because I don't, have crazy money like
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm building up from like $13,000, so I'm going in on alts like ETH, Quant, and Polkadot, and I believe all those will generate me 100K or 200,000. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that. Shout out to Angelina. And shout out to Reese Gunn. I did see his thanks for the follow there. I did see that you did follow us, so thank you for that. Shout out to Angelino. Can Russia CBDC on August 1st make an impact on XRP? Yes, it can, because XRP is all about international settlements, and we'll have to see. But it's also a U.S. company, so it might be blocked by they. Russia might be blocked from using it from U.S. sanctions. So we'll have to see. But it could. It's probably going to have a positive effect over it on just by it being a CBDC and being capable of being on the network. Um, Shout out to anyone else mine Pi. Hope it becomes something one day. Actually, I've been mining Pi since before I really got into crypto because my brother got me into it because it was free. That was it. Other than that, I have no idea what they're doing. Well, shout out to Freedom Fighter. BTC is just old, and miners are just institutions and
Oh my
massive
goodness.
liquidity, so low gains.
It's always hex people talking down on Bitcoin. Like, I'm tired of it, man.
Well, yes, it does have much lower gains now because for one, it's coming to the end of the hyper growth cycle, so you're not going to be able to get in at $1 and make have it and be able to sell at 10,000. But it still has a good staying power, and I mean, it's still going to be around. Shout out to Freedom See Crypto Now. I know that you guys if you like limpy gains, invest in Bitcoin. Here's what I could say about gains. Just getting gains and everything else like that is that there's very rare chance that you're going to make like these 100x trades. Like when you're trained as a broker for a firm, you're usually just trained to look for like a 20% here, 40% here, maybe a double here or double there. A long term, like, okay, we invest like 100 million here, hope we get a billion in 10 years kind of deal. So like I don't really look for like, okay, where can I invest like 5,000 to make 5 million? I look to where I can invest 1 million and come away with 2 million, and that's usually has been very successful for me. And how I trade stocks is how I trade crypto. I'm not really looking for phenomenal gains, but long term, I do look for a little higher gains as I'm holding it long term. Uh, Shout out to Angelino. So China don't own XRP to destroy the USA economy. They probably won't own XRP, at least not right away. Their own yuan is actually pretty much already a crypto. If you haven't been over there, they've already had wallets and stuff. You can only buy things from transfer from phone to phone on there. So they don't even have use cards as much anymore. So I don't think they're going to do. I think they're going to try to create their own first. Then when that fails, they'll try to do that. But at the same time, they have a poor population ratio of men to women, so they might not even make it the next 30 years.
What country?
China has 75 men to one woman in their country.
That's not good.
So
No.
that's not good. So they might not be lasting too long over there. Shout out to user 2562. What you think about XLM? We actually did covered it early on. So if you want to go back and watch the replay or go to YouTube and pull it back, we have a lot there. Definitely got some. Well, shout out to C Crypto now. What does BTC do? Other than it's just a store. To me, it's just a store of value. That's all I could see value in it. I couldn't pay my people in it because it's not a currency. That's my opinion, though. I don't think it's a currency. I think it's just a store of value, kind of like gold. You buy it to hold it for future value in the long term sense. But it doesn't really do. Actually, gold has more utility than Bitcoin because gold can be used for electronics and all sorts of things. But Bitcoin is just Bitcoin. It's just there. So, and ultimately, everyone sells Bitcoin for fiat currency. So that's just my thoughts. I just hold Bitcoin as a store of value for my base of my portfolio, and that's really all I do use it for. So I think,
I wouldn't. Yeah, I agree. Using Bitcoin for payroll would be garbage with all them fees.
yeah,
It's
I
taking
just,
it 30
mhm.
minutes to an hour to hit their accounts.
Yeah,
Because I
or
remember I
sometimes
used, for
4 hours.
example, using fragment.com, I'd sell Telegram usernames, and I can't buy the Ton coin on US exchanges. So what I have to do is use the Telegram wallet bot. And now you have to buy Bitcoin, send it to the wallet bot, and it'll exchange it for Ton coin. And it took like 30 minutes to an hour each time I did that because the Bitcoin transaction has to confirm and the block time and all that. It's just annoying. I remember sitting there like, oh, I'm waiting 35 minutes, refreshing, waiting for this Bitcoin to hit.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that's ridiculous. And then the same thing with ETH, except it's slightly less time. I think it was like 15 to 20 minutes, but still, that's even slow too.
Yeah. Shout out to user 2699. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate your support there. Also, shout out to user 2562. So do you think XRP is a currency? Yeah,
Yes.
because it seems like they produced enough of it so that enough people could have it, and it's designed to be used on exchanging pretty much money across borders. So it's pretty much a currency and it's supposed to be able to keep the value of what you're transferring from one currency to another or money from one spot to another, so you're not losing as much. um Shout out to Crypto Dream. I mean, you can go anywhere in the world and transfer. You can't take money to another country up to 5K. Well, here's the thing with that is like your credit cards, like my credit card, like I can swipe my Amex card and it's going to automatically change it and then bill it to me in US dollars. But a lot of countries also take US dollars. But you do have to know the conversion rates. That's the problem. And bring your money across borders, like you can, you just have to declare it. But I get what you're saying there. But most people don't carry around $5,000 in cash on them. Shout out to Angelino. Yeah, but China are the biggest investors. And what do you think about Europe relisting XRP? Because they're just following the ruling of the SEC, but I think they're relisted because now there's no more point in kind of stifling the value. People are already just going to get into it when they can, especially with VPN technology out there. You don't, if you're in Europe, you could have gotten it without having to even leave Europe. So I think that I think XRP is probably going to start replacing a lot of like kind of like the quasi things that we were doing before. Because maybe I'm dating myself, but back in the day, you used to bring what was called traveler's checks, and I could take my traveler's check from like Amex and give it to the exchange, and they would cash out that equivalent value into coins, and it wasn't cash. So it kind of acted like Bitcoin, and there used to be very valuable because they were considered as instant cash outs. So that's just my opinion, though. That's just how it was back in the day. And so I think that XRP is going to replace a lot of those redundant systems. And once people see how efficient it is, then it'll start replacing a lot of things like it could just take away the euro in there. It could become an actual currency. But then that we get into real world currencies and things like that. Shout out to Angelino. Why Bitcoin got so much volume if the transaction fees are so expensive? Well, they're expensive to someone. If you're only getting like $3,000 worth of Bitcoin and you're trying to transfer it, then it's kind of expensive. But people who have like 10 or 12 Bitcoin, you're moving it. That's not expensive. It's just a thing to evaluation. It's like we was like if you make $200,000 a year, spending $200 to $500 in a day is really nothing. It's like, oh, whatever, you know. And then it's like when you go up, if you got 2 to 5 million in yearly salary, spending $2,000 in a day is just kind of like whatever, you know. So it's all relative. But with that said, I do have to get off here. I got to get to my warehouse. I don't even know if I will have a chance to have hex hex stream. Shouts out, thanks, you're pulling out the traveler's checks. Yes, we need extra. There you go. I'm glad someone remembers traveler's checks.
Traveler's checks.
Um, so I don't know. There's really not much more else to say on this because we just kind of we kind of talked briefly about it. I mean, we're gonna have more to say tomorrow about how the Fed now to market and everything, as well as tomorrow. There's a lot of good quarterly announcements and stuff coming too on the stock market side. So we'll have to see. Thursday and Fridays are usually good days for those things to come out. So, but I do appreciate you guys. You guys definitely had a very interactive chat. Um, Shout out to See Crypto now. Please don't mute me next time. Well, I'll try to reason with Caddy 22 for you.
I just don't like the hex shows, man. Like we've talked about hex, you already know our stance. We're gonna make the video, and once we make the stream, no more hex. I want that to be the debate of that.
Like, yeah, tell Caddy we cool. Okay, I'll remind her next time. Because she is definitely anti hex. I'll have to say that.
I'm anti hex too. I feel you on that. Do you hear me? Like I'm anti hex.
So, but with that said, I don't have much to do. I do have to get to my warehouse and kind of get things prepped and ready. Shall be back all weekend, and hey, we'll be on for you guys tomorrow and for Friday. Saturday we're usually on stream, and we'll be back on Sunday for what's in your portfolio. So we're glad to have you in here, and glad to have all your support. So if you could like and subscribe, it really help. If you want to help support a little bit more, you can sign up to Patreon, and $3 you get early access to all the videos, to the crypto pick videos, the stock pick videos, as well as the interview series I'm going to be launching on there. But with that said, guys, really appreciate all your support. Thank you guys for coming in. I know we had a really late start to this day, but hey, we're glad to have you guys in here. Thanks for everything. Thanks for all your support. Everyone go chase those bags, get that money, secure the bags as much as possible, and get to that financial freedom, because we all want to be financially free.
And stay away.
We are getting there. Yep. So we will check you guys later. Definitely.